Hey, and welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show right here on the YouTube channel. All right, so let me turn around and say, again, thanks to each and every one of you for subscribing. We are on our journey to 250,000, and then we're going to be going for 1 million. So thanks again for that. I want now to talk about Trump's most recent rally in Atlanta. All right, you can't make this stuff up because everybody's talking about his popularity. Let's go to the first clip and let me show you a little bit about the crowd size there in Georgia.
Will come to America when we host the Los Angeles Olympics. And by the way, which I was president, we happened to get it. I was the president. I also got you a thing called the World Cup, which is coming very soon.
I mean, talk about what, a third of the seats are empty? This is not a guy who is commanding, especially not in certain important states. You're not seeing him command the crowd size that he was before. Alrighty. Then there's another part about during this rally. I didn't understand it. You know, glitching and talking about defunding the police in San Francisco. Let's go to that clip, and then you're going to hear my reaction to that one.
Should not stop. She said she was endorsing to fund the police, and she said, violent mobs, let the violent mobs keep going.
Then Donald Trump is merely just gaslighting the crowd. He's talking about Kamala Harris when she was the prosecutor there in San Francisco, that she wanted to defund the police and let them burn the place down, let them riot and loot. That's just not true. First of all, it wasn't even within her purview. It wasn't within her power within which to do it. It is, again, simply a lie by Donald to gaslight those few people that are there in Atlanta listening to this rally. But you can't make this stuff up because it's always about him. It's his id, his ego, his super ego. Listen to this clip as he then starts talking about Bruce Springsteen. By the way, he draws booze from it. But listen to this clip, and then you're going to get my additional reaction.
Well, Hillary used to do that, too. I remember she got Bruce Springsteen. I'm not I'm not a huge fan. I have a bad trait. I only like people that like me. Does that make sense?
Why are they applauding that? You only like people who like you. So, yeah, sure, Vladimir Putin. He turned around and he said something nice about Donald, so Donald responded back, including a statement that he believes Vladimir Putin more than he believes America's law enforcement agents. All right, who's another person that complimented Donald's fragile ego? Oh, yeah. How about Kim Jong-un? Right? How about Mohammed bin Salman? They all said, oh, Donald's the smartest guy. Next thing you know, you own that space in between his ears. And look, whether you're a fan of Bruce Springsteen's or not, I happen to be. But Bruce Springsteen does not like Donald Trump. And therefore, Donald Trump now has to try to say something negative about Bruce Springsteen. Remember, one guy is a singer. He's an entertainer, a performer. And the other guy, Donald, is running for the presidency of the United States. So what about people like, let's just say Trudeau, or let's just say others who are prime ministers or presidents of other countries, and they don't like Donald, or they don't think Donald is this genius, this smart guy. Now, all of a sudden, they become your adversaries, despite the fact that they're allies. I mean, he's going through something right now with Netanyahu. He's going through something with anybody that doesn't compliment him 24/7. This is not a normal trait, nor is it a trait that we should be looking for in a president. Well, look, this shit show rally in Atlanta only gets worse. He then brings up a young lady by the name of Michaela Montgomery. She's a Georgia activist who went to Clark Atlanta University. You can't make this stuff up. Let's roll the clip and wait for my reaction to this one.
It's President Trump. You saved my college. And I said, how the hell do you know that? She said, this one is so smart, so sharp. She grabbed me. She gave me a kiss. I said, I think I'm never going back home to the First Lady.
You were supposed to keep that quiet.
See, now, for the average politician, that's death. For me, I don't care.
Of course you don't care, because we've already seen it with Stormy Daniels. We've seen it with Karen McDougal. We've seen you turn around and say on television, well, it was not supposed to go for television, the Billy Bush segment, you can kiss anybody that you want. But how is the crowd clapping and smiling and laughing about he's not going back to the first lady? He's going to continue his adultery ways. I mean, I don't understand it. And how all of a sudden it's like, she, a student, is thanking him for saving her university. Seriously? How did he save her university? And I've tried to look it up. I've tried to fact check what he's even talking about. And to be honest with you, I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense. Again, this self-laudatory behavior by Donald, it knows no boundaries. There is nothing that Donald didn't do. If somebody gave money to the university, he was the president. It's simply that they gave the money to the university because of him. Everything is about him. What did he do to save this university? In fact, if you ask him, where is Clark Atlanta University? He couldn't tell you where it's at. It's Clark County. All of a sudden, this one student, is she the president of the school? Is she on the board of trustees? Is she the president or the head of the board of trustees? Is she the chairman of the board? What is she? She's a student. And all of a sudden, he's kissing her. She's kissing him. He's so excited about it that all of a sudden, you understand what he's doing there, right? He's playing to the crowd, the whole 9 yards. And then he realizes, he's got to play even more and bring them into the whole thing. I got to tell you something, based upon Donald's previous statements and so on, this whole thing, it just reeks of performance. That's really what this whole thing was. He doesn't believe any of it, and he knows it's full of shit. And just when you think that can't get bad, wow, here we go. Here's another clip about Trump, all right, regarding the Olympic travesty that's taking place right now. Let's go to the clip and then we'll discuss that as well.
If Kamala Harris gets in, the travesty that is taking place at the Paris Olympics will come to America when we host the Los Angeles Olympics. And by the way, which I was president, we happened to get it. I was the president. I also got you a thing called the World Cup, which is coming very soon.
Right. So now what's going on in the Olympics? This travesty, I'm still trying to figure out, and I think I have an idea what Donald's talking about, but the travesty, this, of course, which is taking place today, will, of course, take place because Donald has a magic 8-ball. Remember the magic 8-ball? You shake it up and you turn, will it be an absolute travesty of shake again? Wait, hold on. And it shakes it. Yes. The magic 8-ball turned around and said that under Kamala Harris, the Olympics in 2024, which of course, thanks to him, has been secured in Los Angeles and only because of him, right, is going to be a travesty. What he's like, in my opinion, what he's referring to is the rumor that's been running around about a boxer that beat an Italian boxer. And the allegations is that she's transgender. And all of those rumors have been debunked. My understanding, and I have looked for it, and I have only seen that is absolutely inaccurate, that the female boxer from Brazil happens to be born a woman and is currently a woman and is not transgender, and that it's a lie. It is gaslighting. It's all about transphobia. How many times are you going to hear me say Donald Trump plays to a crowd of people who are racist, who are sexist, who are misogynistic, they're xenophobic, they're homophobic, they're Islamophobic, they're anti-Semitic, and they're transphobic as well. And that's what they're doing here. They are playing to the same base, but we cannot allow that to happen. We must constantly call out the lies, the gaslighting, the bullshit. Then, right, let's go right back to another gaslighting line of horse shit from Donald. Let's play this clip about him talking about Kamala refusing to allow the use of the word Merry Christmas.
Ready? The two words are Merry Christmas. She doesn't want anybody saying Merry Christmas.
When? When did you ever hear that? When? The answer is only Donald hears it. The same way that only Donald can declassify a document through the Jedi mind trick. No. Declassification? You're so quiet. This is such horseshit. It's unbelievable. Everything. Oh, Kamala Harris doesn't want the sun to rise during the day, and he doesn't want the moon to come out at night. Therefore, we cannot vote for Kamala Harris. It is so insane what this man does, what this man thinks, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the truth. He believes that if he says it, he could make the lie into the truth. And they do that by constantly repeating the lie over and over and over again. But nothing during that rally offended me personally, brought me back to Helsinki when he acknowledged Vladimir Putin's comments as more reliable than our incredible law enforcement agencies back here in the United States. Watch this final clip of Trump talking about this great deal done by Vladimir Putin, and you'll get my final reaction.
It's terrible. By the way, I'd like to congratulate Vladimir Putin for having made yet another great deal. Did you see the deal we made?
No, we have not seen the deal. We have no idea what you're talking about. All you're doing is blabbering. And by the way, the slurring of the words is a real problem. And anybody that talks about slurring of words will always bring it back to frontotemporal dementia. It's a great deal. It's a great deal. First of all, not even sure what deal you're talking about. Are you talking about China now wanting to buy oil from Vladimir Putin? Or what the hell are you talking about? Nobody knows. And you're talking to a crowd of MAGA morons, some of the most uneducated, illiterate people that are out there. Let me then turn around and conclude by saying this. This entire Atlanta rally was nothing more than gaslighting bullshit lies from a blubbering fool who's sitting there and praising our adversaries and shits on our allies time and time and time again. So, my friends, once again, I have to end this episode by saying the same thing that I will say in each and every episode up until November election. Vote Kamala Harris 2024. Hey everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.